Hello, beauties. Welcome to Moms Unboxed, a podcast where I unbox with you the how to's, tips, and tricks to empower women to upgrade relationships, intimacy, and parenting. I'm your host, Melanie Caroline, a multidimensional woman, life coach, lover, and mom who's made a lot of fucking mistakes. If you want to live a sensual and liberated life, you've come to the right space. Don't forget to follow Moms Unboxed because you don't want to miss an episode. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Moms Unboxed. I am so thrilled you're here with me for season 2, where it's going to get spicy, it's going to get kinky, it's going to be loving, and I'm so excited. If you don't know who I am, I'm Melanie Caroline. I am the podcast host and producer of Moms Unboxed. I'm also a love and relationship coach where I want to up-level and help you live a liberated, sensual, and unboxed life. Yes, amen. I'm so glad y'all had a good Christmas, a good holiday, whatever it is you celebrate, and a happy new year. I'm excited about this year. I'm calling 2025 my unsucking stoppable year. If you are with me, DM me at I am Melanie Caroline and write me a little message. How is this going to be your unfucking stoppable year? Which is perfect for today's episode. We are starting off the new year. It is going to be amazing. And I want to talk about with you the keys of having that abundant year. I think as moms, we get so buried in our to-dos, the sports, the activities, all the errands and chores, all the things that we have to do. And what happens is at the end of the year, we face this guilt and shame for not loving ourselves, for not putting ourselves first. And we realize, fuck, I didn't achieve anything that I wanted to do for myself this year. Well, guess what? 2025 is going to be different for you. So today we are unboxing those keys that are going to help you create the absolute best year. I'm going to teach you how to plan out your year so that's intentional, so that it's life-giving, so that it's not overwhelming, and it's going to be something that you can obtain for yourself. If you have the time, get out a pen and paper. I'd love for you to do this alongside with me. But if you have to come back to this episode, please do, because I want this to be productive for you. This is an episode where we really want to contemplate what it is you want for 2025. Not just for you, but anything that you do for you is going to help your kids and it's going to help your relationships. And so here we go. If you do have a pen and paper, let's get it out. Let's get started. Some of this planning was inspired by my mentor, Melanie Ann Lear. And when I was first introduced to these, this start of unfolding a new year and really contemplating about what it was I want, it absolutely shifted how I approached each year. No longer was I creating hard set goals. No longer was I trying to push myself into a new routine that in the end didn't really work for me, because moms have to learn to be flexible. But in that flexibility, we have to understand how we best function. A lot of the times we think that we are, energy bunny rabbits, that we can go, 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 go. But that's not the reality. The reality is we are fucking humans and our energy levels increase and decrease, right? And so we have to be able to create a plan that's flexible, that allows us to flow and soften. And when we are in that feminine embodiment and when we're able to soften, that's when the real magic happens. When we understand what our non-negotiables are and how to get there and achieve it, that's when we start making momentum and big moves towards the person and the woman and the mom and the partner that we want to evolve into. And so part of this is understanding, what identity do you want to embody for yourself and how can you get there? Okay. So the first step is to write down what it is you want to focus on for 2025. What is the context that you want this year to have? So I'll give you an example. In 2023, my context was growth and development. Now, at that time, I thought what that meant for me was growth and development in my business. And then I went through a divorce. And so that context for that year shifted to growth and development within myself. I wasn't trying to shame myself or be upset with myself, frustrated because I didn't grow as much as in my business as I wanted to, like the context that I had originally set out, but I pivoted. So it was still the same context, growth and development. It was just in another area of my life. And that's part of that being flexible, being fluid, letting the universe guide you and trusting your intuition. In 2024, my context was embodiment and implementation. So all the things that I learned from 2023 in that growth and development, I implemented, I embodied even further. So all the healing skills that I learned and did, all the breath work, all the meditation, all those things I started to really implement and teach others. 2025, baby, here we are. My context for this year is trusting myself, my intuition, and my relationship. Trusting myself is going to help me make big, bold, messy action and continue to go and go and build that momentum. I want you to really sit down and meditate and contemplate this. What is the context for you this year? Maybe the context is just patience, patience within yourself, for your children, and for your partner. Maybe it's to have more compassion. Maybe it's to build muscle, which that context could be to improve your health. The context could be anything that you want it to be, but make sure that when you do choose your context, that your actions are in alignment with that context for the year. So along with the context, what is the intention? What is the intention that you have for yourself and your family? Because remember, mama, you are a leader of your family, of your children. They are going to mirror you. You are the fucking queen, right? So you want to make sure that what you're doing is going to be in alignment with what you want so that your kids can see that mom is working hard on achieving her goals and she's making moves and she's shifting, her energy's changing. She's not yelling as much. She's working on her tone of voice. She's cooking more. She's eating healthier. And in result, they're eating more. They're eating healthier. They're drinking more water because not only is it focusing on the context and the intention, but it's a lifestyle change. It's a pivot because you want to do things that help you evolve and grow. And in turn, everyone benefits. Everyone around you also shifts and grows because you are that leader. So just take a moment and think about that. What is it you want to be and who is it you want to become? Now that you've contemplated the context and the intention, I want you to write down how you want to spend your year. What memories do you want to create for 2025? I love this. I like I said, I never done this before 3, 4 years ago. And I really implemented this the year that I was taught by my mentor. And I thought, wow, what a great way. It's like writing a bucket list for that year. So things that I have had in the past are to go horseback riding, to go camping at the beach, to read more books, to go on one-on-one dates with my children, to go to different museums, to travel. You really want to think about how do you want to create the memories for 2025? And not a lot of people do this. A lot of people just fucking run into the next year doing the same things, living on repeat. And I'm like, fuck that. I have this one life to live. I want to live it to its absolute motherfucking capacity and intentions and have the biggest, best memories that I can create with my children, with my partner, and with myself. And so when you are done writing down the things that you want to do for 2025, now I'd like you to focus on how is it you want to be. When you think about the highest evolved version of you, where is it she wants to go? How does she act? How does she behave when she's triggered? How does she behave when she's stressed? How is she in her corporate world? Is she climbing up the ladder? Is she getting in a different position that's more fulfilling? How does she carry herself? What does she accomplish? What does she dress like? What does she look like? How does she start her morning? How does she end her day? So there's all these questions that you want to think about when it comes to who is the next version of you? What identity do you want to embody for yourself? Because this is the year you're going to fucking put yourself first. Okay? Moms always put themselves on the back burner. Let's unbox that shit. Let's stop. Let's stop putting ourselves last. Because if you have a daughter, guess what she's going to see? She's going to see, oh, moms put themselves last. Moms always cook. Moms always clean. They don't do artwork. They don't do crafts. They don't do sports. They don't do hobbies. They totally focus on the partner and the other kids in the house. Like, let's stop that scenario. Let's show our children that it is okay for moms to put themselves first. Let's show our children what self-love looks like. So you're going to be focused on your context, your intentions, the things that you want to do for 2025, how you're going to create those amazing memories. And then you're going to think about, what does the evolved version look like? How is she being? So how is it you want to be this year? For me, it's softening with my teenager. I need to learn to soften because I can see that he's maturing and he's changing, but yet I'm still kind of stuck in that defense mode, trigger mode, impatience, my tone of voice sucks. Like, there's a lot of shifts to happen between myself and my son's relationship. So I think about, how is it I want to be when it comes to my teenage son? I hope this helps kind of start helping you brainstorm what you want to do for 2025. I take this a step further. So this is my own magic that I have added in my yearly notebook. I write down the lessons I've learned each quarter. I've had a lot of lessons in life, and I like to record them. I like to write them down. And then I write down the significant memories that I have created. So not only do I have pictures in my phone about all the different things that I've done throughout the year, but I also have my yearly notebook where I record the most magnificent memories. Memories that have helped propel me forward, lessons I've learned that I fucking never want to do again, and the wisdom that I have obtained. Now that I've learned this lesson, what is the wisdom there and how can I grow from that? What can I teach from that space? And I have 2 years worth of lessons and memories and wisdom. So it is quite amazing to have something handwritten that you can reflect back on and you can read. And I love reading about my life and what I have done, where I've come from to where I am now. And then 2025, I've started, what do I want to do? What do I want to have? And how do I want to be? What is my context? What is my intention? And then I start recording throughout the year. And I love this process. It has been an absolute game changer for me. I feel like each year goes by now and I actually have like a purpose in my life. I'm actually like living life at its fullest. I'm not letting a day go by where I just feel nothingness. Like I feel something every day. There's something for me to work on. So I've got 11 keys here. I think it's 11. Yeah. I have 11 keys here that are going to support you throughout the year. Because no more are we going to set hard, fast goals that we don't achieve. And as a mom, we have to be very mindful of our time and our energy and our space and what we're willing to give our time and energy and focus to and what we're not. So, key number 1, what are your non-negotiables? Think about this. If your context and intention is to improve your health, what are the non-negotiables that you are going to continue throughout the year that's going to make the biggest gains toward the context and intentions? So these are absolutes. These are things that you are going to accomplish. These are like your dead set hard fucking yeses that you're going to place before cleaning dishes, before vacuuming the house. I think we spend so much time cleaning to grasp for control that the shit that we can control, we don't want to pay attention to because it's a little harder than doing the dishes. So think about that. What are your non-negotiables? It is to elevate yourself as a mother, and your non-negotiables are to meditate so that you can become more patient, more mindful, and conscientious of yourself. Then yes, that is your non-negotiable. The second key is be consistent. So how are you going to be consistent with your non-negotiables? If it is to become a more patient mom and you're like, I'm going to meditate 4 times a week, it is going to be consistent. It can be flexible. Where in the 4 times a week are you going to meditate? And it can be flexible. Like I said, you have some wiggle room and space in your day. Great. If it's to go to the gym, what is the best time to be consistent so that you can go to the gym? And who do you have to ask for support to help you with your non-negotiables so that you can be consistent? Because again, this is the fucking year that you're going to put yourself first. You are going to build the commitment towards yourself. Now, many of you might say, well, no, I put my kids first. And I totally understand. I had that mentality too. But here's the thing that I've learned. If you don't take care of yourself, how is it you're going to take care of your children the way you need to take care of them so that they feel supported? Loving yourself, supporting yourself first is going to help you be a better mom so that you can support your children. So understand that your non-negotiables need to be consistent. Key number 3, focus on the big moves to achieve your goals. That's not to say that small steps don't make momentum. It's just that sometimes we can distract ourselves with the small things, right? So you want to prioritize the larger steps that are going to make the biggest momentum. For instance, if your goal is to live with less stress, part of you living with less stress is to make sure the house is clean and to meditate and to take more time for your self-care. We can get so caught up in our environment and cleaning and trying to control things to reduce the stress that that's just a band-aid, right? What really needs to happen is you need to
make the bigger change and meditate, learn how to do breath work, do your self care consistently. And then you're thinking, okay, well, what about my self care is going to make the biggest impact? Is it to take baths? Is it to go for a walk in nature? Is it to sit outside for 5 minutes? Is that really what's going to help you focus and achieve on your goals? Concentrate on the larger things that are going to help you while also doing the smaller things too. Because when I talk about high frequency days and low frequency days, that's where those smaller steps are important. If you're like, I want to live with less stress, and today's a fucking stressful ass day, and you're like, I can't go to the gym. I'm not going to be able to do A, B, or C. I don't have the energy. I'm stressed out. I feel overwhelmed. Then that's where you're going to pull out the smaller steps. You're going to say, you know what? I need 30 minutes to read my book. I need 20 minutes to breathe and meditate. And those are the smaller things too. You don't necessarily need to go to the gym every single day to achieve your goal. You don't need to meditate every single day to achieve your goal, but you do need to be consistent with it. The fourth key is to be brave. If your context and intentions this year is to try a new hobby, to learn how to snowboard, to learn how to do pottery, to get on that pole and do a pole dancing class, but you're too fearful of what other people might think of you, don't be. This is your life. You need to take the brave steps to achieve what you want to achieve, to push beyond the boundaries, to break the glass ceiling. We get so stagnated in our mom role that we don't elevate ourselves as women. Because you know what? I love that we have kids, but you're not just a mom. Who were you before you were a mom? Can you kind of call her in? Can you do something brave? Can you do something out of the ordinary to build courage and confidence, which is going to lead to new opportunities for you? You got to put yourself out there. You have to take the brave steps. All right. Key number 5, try something new. Do you have any new kinks or fantasies? Do you want to travel? Do you have hobbies? What's going to improve that personal growth? What are your passions? Spice up your life. This is your life. We have one fucking life. Key number 6, be adaptable. This is what I was talking about with consistency is it's okay to pivot. It's okay to adjust. Like I said, we're getting rid of hard set goals. We're working with intentions. So if your intention is to live a healthier life and you're like, I can't fucking go to the gym 5 days a week. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, I got you, girl. What can you do? Is it that maybe you're switching from going to the gym to doing a home workout? Maybe it's to do some yoga instead. Give your body a rest. Pivot when you need so that you can live your life in ease and flow. Because when we start setting those hard set goals and shifting our entire routine, and what happens is that works for so long before our body kind of panics and our ego mind is like, go back to what I used to know. I don't want to do this uncomfortable thing. Okay, I got you. But don't let that happen. Don't just shut down, pivot. It's okay to pivot. And when we pivot, we have grace. And when we pivot, we're able to adjust for our kids easier because we're not so controlling around our routine. So be adaptable. Key number 7, be in the realm of abundance. Cultivate a mindset that is life-giving, that is abundant, one filled with gratitude. It's so easy to see what we're not doing, what we're not accomplishing, seeing our to-do list going unchecked and then getting down on ourselves for it and then getting upset with our children because they're constantly distracting us. No more. Let's shift that mindset. What is it you're gaining by not being able to do the thing that you set out to do? Maybe instead of going to the gym, you went for a hike with the kids. You got the kids out. Sure, you didn't go to the gym, you didn't lift the weights, but hey, you got quality time with your kids. The kids got out. They're not playing video games all day long. You are getting them out. Stop seeing what your partner's not doing. See how they are helping you out. And if you need more assistance so that you can achieve what you want to achieve, ask for help. I think too many times women and moms, they just expect men to read their minds. And that's not the case. Men are not mind readers. But if you express yourself, they will meet you where you need them to be. And if that's not the case for you, then that's a whole nother topic, mama. So create abundance and look at all the things that you have in this life. Look at yourself. Look how fucking badass you are. You're listening to the podcast. You're writing this shit down. You're thinking about your context. You're thinking about your intentions. You're thinking about what you want to do for 2025. You're thinking about how you want to evolve and elevate and embody that new identity. That's amazing. That's abundance right there. Which brings me to my next key. Acknowledge your progress. Again, we see a lot of what we don't achieve. No more. No more of this for 2025. From now on, we see what we do. And I speak this from experience because I am the worst at acknowledging myself. Okay, I will fucking get 5-10 things done in a day, and I'll still be like, I wish I would have gotten more done. And that's something I have to work on, is understanding within yourself what is too much. Are you setting yourself up for self-sabotage because you are, writing down too many things to do in that day? And I don't even write down to-do lists anymore. I write accomplishment lists. What is it that I want to accomplish? Do you feel that energy shift? Like, what is it I have to do today? Sounds like a fucking chore, right? Sounds like something we don't want to do. Sounds like the frequency of lower vibration. What do I want to accomplish? Hell yeah. I'm going to accomplish A, B, and C. Right? Do you feel that energy change? Acknowledge your progress. Acknowledgement fosters motivation and self-confidence. And you start seeing that, holy shit, I am getting things done. I'm so proud of where I'm at. I'm so proud of what I'm doing. I'm so proud of where I'm going because I'm accomplishing all these different things. Key number 9, celebrate those accomplishments. So once you do have checked off, I accomplished this, I accomplished going for a walk, I accomplished writing, I accomplished doing the dishes. Hell fucking yeah. But sometimes you might only get those 3 things done in a day because guess what? If you counted actually all the things that you're doing throughout the day, I bet your accomplishment list would be like 10, 12, even 20. I don't know. It depends on how busy you are and what sports you're taking the kids to and all the other errands and chores and all the things. Like if you really wanted to add it up, all the shit that you accomplished that day, whoa, girl, you'd be celebrating every day. And you should be celebrating every single day, even the small steps. Celebrate, 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 celebrate. Celebrate with your friends, celebrate with your kids, celebrate with your partner. Most importantly, celebrate with yourself. Acknowledge it is 2025 and it is the unfucking stoppable year. And in order to have that type of year, you need to celebrate. Key number 10, have grace with yourself. This is what I'm talking about. When we are flexible and we are willing to shift and pivot, you have grace within yourself. You are more forgiving towards yourself. This is part of a self-love practice, by the way. Having grace with yourself, showing forgiveness, saying, okay, it's okay that I didn't get that one thing accomplished today. There is always tomorrow. Remember, if you're beating yourself up, if you're knocking yourself down when it comes to what you didn't achieve, you're not going to restart. You're not going to regain the calibration and the motivation because you're sitting there knocking yourself down. Don't fucking be toxic to yourself, okay? We have enough of that in our world. We don't need to do that. When you have grace with yourself, you have grace with your children, you have grace with your partner, you're more forgiving, you're more patient, you're more loving. And guess what? Life happens. We have to be able to adjust to life circumstances. That's just the reality of it. So why beat yourself up for shit you can't control? And if you can't control it, go back to number one. What are your non-negotiables? What are you allowing yourself to slack? Why are you sitting on the couch looking at your phone when you can be stretching on the floor? You know, too many times we give ourselves excuses to not do the thing that we want to do or need to do. Like, oh, I lost my exercise book. I guess I can't go work out today. Oh, I've had a really terrible day. So I guess I'm just going to be super impatient and I'm just going to go in my room and sit rather than enjoying the evening with your children and understanding that I might have had a bad day, but there's still the rest of the day left that I can make such a big difference. And finally, mama, breathe. 2025 is going to be full of surprises. It's going to be an incredible year. If you fall off track with your context and your intentions, go back and read what you wrote at the beginning of the year. This journal is something that you can continue going back to, and you should be, because you're writing down the lessons. You're writing down the memories. You're writing the wisdom that you've gained. You notice things that you want to shift and you want to change and you want to pivot and you want to be more flexible and fluid and soften. And go back and read about your context and your intentions. Do they align with what you're doing, or is what you're doing aligning with that? Right? And if they're not aligning, do you need to pivot the intentions in the context for your year? This is why it's super important to just be patient with yourself, to have grace and breathe. We get stressed because we want to control. We want to have control. And expectations and control is key reasons why people suffer, because they don't know how to be fluid and flexible like water. Okay? So take this time, think about these things. We are on day number 7 of 2025. It is not too late to think about your context, your intentions, the way you want to be, the things you want to have, the things you want to do. Notice your accomplishment, have grace, acknowledge the progress, be adaptable, try something new, be brave and consistent, and focus on your non-negotiables. And that's what's going to project you forward. I cannot wait for 2025 to just continue to roll. It's going to be an amazing year. And I so appreciate you being here. I love that you're listening. If you are on Instagram, DM me at I am Melanie Caroline. I would love to hear from you. Say hello and let me know what you thought about this episode and how you want to start this year. I'm so excited for you to see what you accomplish. It's going to be a spicy one. I have themes for each month for the podcast, and I'm telling you, this podcast is going to get spicy. It's going to get kinky, and we got to learn some things. That is important. Learning things, sharing the wisdom with y'all is something that is so important to me. I love you, queens. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget to live a liberated, sensual, and unboxed life. Until the next time, sunshine.
Thank you again for joining me for another episode of Moms Unboxed. If you have a relationship question, connect with me at I am Melanie Caroline. And don't forget to follow Moms Unboxed. Until the next time, sunshine.